Tom, you all right? Okay. More and more Queenslanders are getting on their bike, whether it's for exercise, fun, or a good way to get to work. Cycling is a great exercise and more people want to be commuters on their bicycles. That's why Labor has, over the last term, put extra money into building more cycleways. In the last 3 years, we've spent almost $200 million building new cycleways in regional Queensland and here in the capital city. We've seen important connectivity in our cycleways with the Gateway Bridge and with the Kurilpa Bridge in the city. But we've also seen in places like Cairns, new cycleways from the Era Glen area around Cairns. I'm very pleased today to be announcing at the beginning of Bike Week, Labor's new cycle policy. Our Get On Your Bike policy will see additional funds going into building more safe bike paths for cyclists. What you'll see is a $6 million allocation here in the northern suburbs of Brisbane that will take the northern bikeway further. These funds, this $6 million allocation, will fund the stretch from Bowen Hills to Albion. There'll be a further $320,000 that will fund the planning work for the next stage that will take the cycleway to Kedron. That will mean ultimately a bike path, a dedicated cycleway all the way from the city through Bowen Hills, out through Albion, and then joining up with the Kedron Brook cycleway. So that's a great benefit to the people here on the north side of the city. There'll also be an extra $1.75 million that will see an extra 900 bike parking stations. It's important when people are commuting through suburbs and leaving their bikes, for example, at a rail station, that they can have confidence that it'll be safe. That's one of the things that matters to cyclists when they're choosing to ride their bike to work. We'll also have an extra $20 million in grants that will work with local governments to identify new cycleways in their region. We'll be looking to work with them on new cycleways in regional Queensland, including in our disused rail corridors. What you've seen is some rail trails that have really started to attract cyclists and walkers in those disused rail corridors where those railway lines have been closed for many decades. So we'll be looking to put more bikeways in there in consultation and partnership with local government. As we see more and more cyclists on our roads, however, particularly as commuters, we need to make sure that they are safe. And I know that sometimes it can be frustrating as a driver when there are cyclists on the road. But we need to know that cyclists are not going to be victims of people who deliberately and recklessly seek to use their vehicles to intimidate cyclists. As someone who's a driver, I know it can be frustrating when there's cyclists on the road. But as someone who rides on the road, I know that it can sometimes be very dangerous when angry drivers seek to use their vehicle as an intimidation or as something to get you out of the way. So we'll be putting in place a new offence that will make it an aggravated circumstance to recklessly use your vehicle to intimidate a cyclist.
Mike, pause for a second.
Okay.
Sorry.
Is that because of the wildlife?
Yeah, the wild bats.
Sparks Hill Bat Colony, yeah, I bats, yes.
Okay, we've got enough.
We will also create a new offence of deliberately or recklessly driving in a way that endangers a cyclist. We already have reckless driving provisions and offences. With this, we will see a doubling of the penalty units if a vehicle is used to recklessly and deliberately endanger or intimidate a cyclist. We know that we're seeing more and more bikes on the roads, and we need to make sure that everyone can share the roads safely. Cyclists have to do the right thing, but so do drivers. And most of the time, everyone does the right thing, but it's important as we see more cyclists out there, and we want to see people out on their bike. It means they're staying healthy, it means they're getting cars off the road, and everybody's got to share the road.
Do you not risk the situation occurring where some of the more militant cyclists, and obviously there's aggression on both sides, then feel like they've got carte blanche to do whatever they want because the law is entirely on their side?